Yes, I'm sorry. We're seeing each other. We're seeing three things, three boxes.
Okay. Hitting lights.
Yeah, I saw that then.
Shabbat Shalom.
Absolutely.
We are live.
Oh. Well, Yedid Nefesh Avarachama Avarachama Meshogavdach Eritzonach Eritzonach Yarutz Avdach Kimo Ayam Yishtachaveh Muhadarach Yedid Nefesh Avarachama Avarachama Meshogavdach Eritzonach. Bless you. Eritzonach. Bless you and Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom. Did you hear that, or you just saw me
I
sneezing?
saw it.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. It's good to see you, Carl. It feels like a long time. And I wish we were. I wish, I love being in the sanctuary with you and kind of riffing and doing our thing. And I'm sorry that circumstances are keeping us apart tonight, but I'm glad to be here with you. I'm glad to have Shabbat, and I just want to jump in the pool that is Shabbat. So let's do this. Let's go to.
As Psalm 95 says, let's go.
Yeah.
Lichu niranina, lichu niranina, lichu niranina, ladonai, lichu niranina. Let's go, come and sing. Lichu niranina, ladonai, naria, naria, litzu yishenu, nekad mavana, nitoda, naria, naria, litzu yishenu, bezmirot nirialo, lichu niranina, lichu niranina, lichu niranina, ladonai. Let's go and sing. Lichu niranina, lichu niranina, ladonai. Page 12, Rabbi, join me.
All right.
Arba'im shana.
Arba'im shana.
Akut bidor.
Akut bedor.
Va'omar.
Va'omar.
Am to'elevav heim.
Am to'elevav heim.
Vehem lo yadu.
Vehem lo yadu.
Derachai.
Derachai.
Asher nishbati v'yapi im yevo'un el menuchati. On page, if you're following in your Lev Shalem, page 14, the Chatima for Psalm 96. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, V'takel ha'aretz, hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Umelo, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Umelo. Ya'alo Sadai, V'chol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 as you're running new, Kolatseya, 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 Ya'alo Sadai. Kol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 Livnei Adonai kiva, kiva lishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel b'tzedek v'yamim be'emunato.
All right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are we going next to light is sown for the righteous?
Let's sing for the righteous.
Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. And we may not get to rejoice all the time, but we will rejoice. We will find, that those who reap will, allow and joy. So let's do it.
All right. O Zarua Latzadik Ulishvei lev simcha. O Zarua Latzadik Ulishvei lev simcha. O Zarua Latzadik Ulishvei lev simcha. Ulishvei lev simcha. Zarua Latzadik Ulishvei lev simcha. Ulishvei lev simcha. O Zarua Latzadik Ulishvei lev simcha. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai v'hodu zecher kodsho.
Great. I apologize. I got the quote wrong. It's from Psalm 126. Those who sow in tears will reap with shouts of joy. I was at a conference with almost 50 other rabbis. Most of whom at this point I could not pick out of a lineup because we were wearing masks the entire time.
Sure.
But we were talking about that kind of theology, about God giving us more than we can handle. And, I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but I know that if we believe we can handle it, then we will. And if we don't, then we can seek help to be able to handle it. So whether it's God or other people, we're not alone. And I firmly believe. And it was interesting to get other rabbinic perspectives on it. We're going to go now on what page is it, Carl? It's Psalm 29, correct?
Yeah, 29 on page 21.
Ooh, Psalm 29.
Havu l'Adonai b'nei elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, havu l'Adonai kivod shemo, yishlachavu l'Adonai v'hadrat kodesh, kol Adonai al hamayim hakavod hirim Adonai hamayim hamayim rabim, kol Adonai ba'ko kol Adonai ve'adan, kol Adonai shover arazim ve'yashaver Adonai et arze havanon vayakidem kemo egel Levanon ve'sirion kemo ven remim kemod ven remim. רוצה לבודש כל אדוני יחיל מדבר יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש כל אדוני יכול איילון ויחשוף ירוד ובחלום כולו אומר כעבוד כולו אומר כעבוד אדוני למבול ישב וישב אדוני מלך לעולם אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יבורך לעמו ושלום Yeah.
Sorry, it took me a second to find the unmute button. It's great. You know, we transition. The beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat is these Psalms, and it talks about praising God, and it's all these, you know, it's written in another form, and it talks about the forces of nature praising God and God doing all these things. And then we're gonna do something before Lachadodi, which is Ana Bakoach, which is a mystical poem, and then we're going to transition into Lachadodi. And from this point, for the rest of Kabbalat Shabbat, it gets more personal. This Ana Bakoach is a us talking to God, not describing the majesty of God's world, but us taking a moment to directly have a conversation with God. I think it, you know, for a while, a cool phrase people use was to interface with each other, right? So we're interfacing with God in this poem, and I love it because it says, "Accept the prayers of your people, God." But then I love, Almighty, if you would guard us as the apple of your eye, those who seek your unity. Seek your unity. You know, there's so many things we can do about that, but what brings to mind for me is the idea of everything that we are and everything in the world being contained in God, that God is the great unifying force in the world. And whatever the manifestations, whether it's the God that makes mountains tremble or the God who has the Shabbat bride coming to us, this request of yichud, right? That's the Hebrew, is those who seek your unity is yichudech, right? Yichudecha, right? Which is also the yichud. We say that word when we talk about a married couple. They go into something seclusion called yichud. And so between that and then viewing the Shabbat bride, we have this really strong theme of intimacy with God, and that Shabbat being a time for that intimacy and that relationship with God. So Carl, if you can, let's get intimate with God.
Can I add one thing, Rabbi?
Absolument.
The opening line in the translation in Lev Shalem for Ana Bakoach, to me, feels so, let's get into Shabbat. It's, if you would, God, your mighty right hand, undo the knot that ties us up.
Yeah, take the stress of, like, we're knotted up, we're stressed, we've got the work week and all that. Just let us.
It's the perfect intro to Lachadodi, right? Let it go.
Yeah, I love it.
And
do it. Do it.
Ana Bakoach, good lo yimincha. Ta'ir tzura kabel rina amcha sagveinu tahareinu nora ana bakoach good lat yimincha tatir tzura kabel rina Amcha sagvenu, Tareinu Nora. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nikabila. Shamov Zachor B'diburecha Hishmianu El HaMiyuchad Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad Shem Tiferet V'liti Laha Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nikavla Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'necha Ki mekor Habaracha Merosh Mikedem Netzucha Sof Maaseh B'machshava Tehila Lecha Dodi Likrat Shabbat Penei Shabbat Nikabila. Turn the page, change it up. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kahala Penei Shabbat Nikabila. Yomim Nusmo Tifrotzi V'et Adonai Ta'avitzi al yad ish Ben parzi v'nismecha V'nagila lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nikabila. Welcome the Shabbos bride with her beauty entering the room. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha uv'tzala, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala, lecha dodi. Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nikabila. Yai 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 yai
Beautiful.
Welcome, welcome.
Now it's that time for a psalm just for Shabbat. The psalm for Shabbat is Psalm 92, and it's on page 27. And are you gonna? I'll let you
go right to the Chatima.
So page 28 it is.
There we go. Tzadik atzamah yifrach ke'erez ba'avono yizkeh shetuli bevet Adonai bechatrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yeduvun V'sheni v'ranani yiyu l'hagi ki yashar Adonai tzuri tzuri v'lo avlata bo. Edotecha nemnu me'od leveitcha navakodesh Adonai liorech yamim.
Wow. Shabbos is here.
There it is.
Shabbos is here. I love it. It's good to be, well, not the king, but it's good to be in Shabbos.
Thanks for riding shotgun on that one.
Yeah. So I mentioned that I was at this conference this week, and I left the day after one of our daughter's bat mitzvahs. So I was last weekend. We celebrated an amazing simcha. She was phenomenal. I never heard her practice. I never got to hear her practice, and so it was so amazing to see her flourish. And Leora did just an amazing job. And we were so ensconced and wrapped up in beautiful celebration with family and loved ones. It was wonderful. So much so that I was going to this conference on Sunday. I actually took the red eye. I was supposed to leave earlier, but I didn't want to leave. And so I took the red eye on Sunday night. And I went right from the bat mitzvah and celebrating with family to going across the country. And I don't know about you, Carl. I don't take a lot of time to pack. I know people, and actually I'm going to embarrass you. Leora is one of them who just takes days to pack. Like, just get it done, make sure it's done. I'm going to do it 3 days before, that kind of thing. For me, I throw stuff in a bag, and I don't always think everything through. And here's an illustration. I didn't think it through. I was going to Baltimore, and it was, high of 18 on some days. And you know what I forgot to bring?
A coat.
Yeah. You're 100% right. I forgot to bring a coat. So I'm walking around in 18-degree weather in a sweatshirt, and I am not warm. And I thought about it. And, if you were going away, right? Let's say you had no time to pack, right? Our Israelites, right? The Bnei Yisrael, they threw their bags on their back when they left Egypt, and you grab your stuff, and they didn't go away for a week. They went away. They were not coming back, right? If you had moments to pack your bags, right? What would you take with you? You would take with you. I'm not going to ask you the question, because it's somewhat rhetorical, and I don't know if you knew what you would have back in ancient Egypt. But you take the things that are most important, right? So here we have these people in this parsha. They're leaving Egypt, and they don't know where they're going. They know they're leaving, and they know what the hope is. So in this parsha, we celebrate, and tomorrow you guys are going to do Yismachu service, and it's going to be beautiful. And one of the things we celebrate is the Song of the Sea. Right? We read of the children of Israel singing and thanking God for the safe passage through the Red Sea. Right? But before we can reach that point, we see them worry. We see them worry about their future. They just left everything they knew. They left behind everything they knew in search of a new life. Right? This was a people who had been slaves. They witnessed difficult times. And then this guy that they didn't know, who wasn't raised a slave, comes and says, join me and have a better life. I'm sent by God. Come, leave everything you know and come join me. Now, you could say it's easy because they were slaves, and who wouldn't want to leave? But the truth is, the hardest thing in the world to do is change, even if it's to change from something dysfunctional. Because after a while, that dysfunction, whether it's a physical slavery or an addiction or bad habits or toxic relationships or environments, it's no longer seen as destructive is just familiar, right? You'd think that when Moshe says, I'm going to take you from the most highly developed nation in the world, you're slaves, and I'm going to bring you into the middle of the wilderness, you'd think that everybody would jump at joy. But our rabbis say, actually, it's only a sherith, a fraction of the Israelite slaves that chose to join Moshe. The majority stayed in Egypt, actually.
Wow.
Because the devil they knew was better than the devil they didn't know, right? So for those brave enough, they walk out into the unknown, and they find themselves at the edge of the Red Sea, right? And then they hear, right? They see the posse behind them coming to get them. They call out to God. And by the way, I firmly believe, and I asked this to a bunch of rabbis and they concurred, so this is my own opinion. This week's Parsha is the invention of Jewish sarcasm, right? Because when they're terrified and they're watching the Egyptians and they're looking at the sea in front of them, you know what they say to Moshe? They don't say, oh no. They literally say the sentence, and you can look in the verse. They say the question, what? There weren't enough graves in Egypt, right? I mean, imagine like your great aunt from Brooklyn or something saying that kind of thing, or what am I, chopped liver? Like that's the same kind of sarcasm, but that's what they say. So they call out to God, and they had their prayers answered. And they were in the midst of the Tocha Yabasha. They were in the sea, and it became dry. And we sing Az Yashir, right? And this is Shabbat Shirah this week. And Carl, do you know that Debbie Friedman song about the Exodus, about the song of the sea?
The Miriam song?
Yeah. What are the words? Miriam and the women dancing with the timbrels, right? So think about that for a moment. Go back to how I started this conversation.
Pack the timbrels.
Right. They left in the middle of the night. What are you going to need to bring? Oh, we're going to bring the timbrels. We're going to bring the tambourines. I definitely can't leave.
That's
I
optimism.
can't leave.
That's
right.
Optimism.
That's exactly what it is. Right?
Excellent.
They're running away from oppression in the middle of the night, and they think about their musical instruments. This act of faith, right? They didn't know where they were going. They didn't know how they were going to get there, but they knew there was going to be reason to rejoice. They knew and they believed that no matter what the struggles were, no matter what lay ahead, they have an opportunity to celebrate and sing and dance, right? This week, we're installing our new board, right? And they have that same kind of faith. They don't know what's coming. None of us do. We know where we've been, and we know we're going to have opportunities to celebrate together. Whether it's over Zoom or in person, we're going to pack the timbrels. We're going to see the way to freedom and joy. And we're not going to have miracles on the scale of the crossing of the Red Sea, but we'll have opportunities to celebrate as a community. We'll know that we can do that there will be good times ahead, and we will be able to sing and rejoice. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Wonderful. I love
Thanks.
that.
Yeah, it's kind of like they pack timbrels. Cool. So we're going to do the Mourner's Kaddish, right? I apologize. I don't have the list. I didn't get it because we had to shift last minute. But tomorrow, whether you're in person or live streaming, we will recite the names of the people for whom we're saying Kaddish. I again apologize that I didn't have the list beforehand. And I just want to transition. I want to take a moment of transition before we say the Mourner's Kaddish to hold space, because the space we're in is virtual, but I want to hold emotional space for those who are suffering, for those who may not be able to see the moments of celebration in this time. And I just want to let everyone know that wherever they are, they're not alone. That whether we are in the same sanctuary answering Amen to the Mourner's Kaddish, or we're doing it from our own living room or dining room, we're with them, and their burden is not theirs alone. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Ve'alma divrach yirsei ve'amlich malchusei. V'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beis Yisrael. Va'agala uvizman kariv ve'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olmei olmaya. Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yispa'ar v'yisramam v'yisnasei. V'yisadar v'yisaleh v'yisalal shmei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchasa v'shirasa tushbechasa v'nechamasa. Na'amiran ve'alma v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
Amen.
You know, Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. The one who makes peace up in heaven, bring peace down to earth.
Amen.
I haven't prepared you for this, Carl. It's 8 days. It's 8 days after the 6th, after January 6th, 2022. And that as soon as I say the one who brings peace up in heaven, bring peace down to earth, I really hope we can pack the timbrels for not just CBI, but for the world around us, this community, this nation, that we can find moments of unity and rejoicing, and that we come through the darkness into the light, and we find reasons to be together and to rejoice. So please, God, bring peace on earth.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru, amen. V'al kol yoshvei tevel, amen.
Peace to you, ministering angels, messengers of the Most High, sent by the sovereign of all sovereigns, the Holy One whom we bless. Come in peace, angels of peace, messengers of the Most High, sent by the sovereign of all sovereigns, the Holy One whom we bless. Bless us with peace, angels of peace, messengers of the Most High, and go in peace, angels of peace, messengers of the Most High. You may know that better as Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Nil Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzechem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yai, 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 yai. Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Carl, good Shabbos. I have to tell you that I know it's not a long service. It's 35 minutes, and I'm so moved. I literally am sitting here very moved by being able to do this with you, and it's not about the length of time. It's about the quality of it. So I appreciate the neshama, the soul you put into your music, and it's an honor. So thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Rabbi. And Shabbat Shalom to everybody, to our Kahal, our beloved Kahal,